Y'all know where I'm at? I'm at the airport. I am about to go to Istanbul for my flight to Dubrovnik. It's my first big solo trip since I went to Belgium, so I can't wait. I'm actually very excited to explore Croatia. It's currently 8:36, so I've got a nice night flight. This is like the first flight where I've bought my seat because it's like a 12-hour flight to Istanbul, and I don't want to have to deal with worrying about asking someone to get up to go to the bathroom. Like, I just want to be comfortable. So I did pay for these seats. No regrets at all. Shall be smooth. I'm officially in Istanbul. I'm at the Istanbul airport. I was a little nervous when we first got here because it was raining. Luckily, it didn't affect the flight coming in, but it looks like it's starting to calm down now. My flight to Dubrovnik is not delayed. I do see some red flashing on the screen, so I might go take a look, hopefully on the clear. I'm very glad I went ahead and paid for that aisle seat because it did come in clutch. The food on Turkish Airlines, they had a chef and everything, like a whole chef outfit. They gave slippers and socks and all the good stuff. The Istanbul airport is the most chill airport I've ever been to in my life. I was expecting it to be so hectic, like the complete opposite. You can play video games, guys on scooters. It's a vibe, and I'm honestly not even mad at it. Right now, I'm gonna go walk to my gate, make sure it exists, and then I'll chill over there and do some content. Your girl has just touched down in Dubrovnik. As my Uber was bringing me into the Pile Gate entrance to get to Old Town, all I could think was, oh my gosh, this looks actually insane. The city walls, everything is so lit up and nice. I thought when I first got here that I was gonna maybe want to get some food to go, kind of just chill after such a long travel day, but nah. People are out. I just looked online. Restaurants don't close till like midnight. I just talked to my host and she gave me a list of restaurant and grocery store recommendations. But I am honestly obsessed. So far, so great. I know y'all expected to see me at a nice little restaurant about to munch right now. All this fluff from my cardigan. Even though the restaurants in Dubrovnik say they close at a certain time, that's really just when they close, period. But the kitchen be closing like an hour or two before it closes, so your girl was struggling. Came across Barba. I think I was gonna get this like 2 days from now. This shall be interesting. This is huge. And it came with fries and onion rings. I'm like, I don't need all that. Just give me the fries. But I got the octopus burger. This is how it looks. I'm not gonna lie. It's surprisingly good. I don't know what octopus tastes like. It's nice and crispy. I can see that they fried it. I'm gonna munch on my food, watch some Netflix, journal. I'm excited for tomorrow. It's my first full day here. See you tomorrow. It's my first full day in Dubrovnik, Croatia, and I'm so excited to go explore. I'm about to go head to the city walls, of course, a must. And then I'm gonna walk around Old Town for a little bit. At 11, I have a walking tour. I am excited to like get to know more of the history and stuff of Dubrovnik. And then the rest of the day is pretty chill. I'll be going to BANJE Beach just to relax. I don't think I'm gonna get in the water or anything, but just see what it's like. Later on, I'll go get dinner and do a wine tasting. Let's go explore Dubrovnik. Made it to the city walls. It's beautiful. A little out of breath. I decided to start off at the Placi Gate because they said this is the part that has the steepest or the most stairs. And then the rest is easy. So I'm starting off here for the views. The views are insane. Everyone knows a must-do in Dubrovnik is walking the city walls. They completely surround the old town and date back to the Middle Ages, built to protect the city from invaders. There are a few entrances. Start at the Placi Gate. I'm about to show y'all why it makes sense to start at the Placi Gate. So I went all the way up here and then it starts to descend down. The only time it goes back up is like right over there. But everything else is kind of like downhill. So I've done the meat of it. The rest should be pretty smooth. The views are amazing. The full loop takes about an hour and a half if you take your time, longer if you stop for pics, which you absolutely will. Look at how clear that water is. That's crazy. I went back to my Airbnb because I brought my jacket at first and obviously didn't need it. I thought it was going to be a little cool in the mornings, but the sun was just gleaming. I just went and dropped a few things off and refreshed. After walking the walls, now I'm going to stroll around for a little bit because I have a walking tour that starts in about 20 minutes. On my way here, I did see a market, so I'm going to go check that out real quick. As I was walking through the market, I saw the Jesuit. I'm only on season 4 of Game of Thrones. I haven't got to that point yet. We're about to start the walking tour. It is one of those tours where it has the little audio thing. It is free, so no complaints here. We had to pay for these little $2 headphone things. We're starting up here. This is just our meetup spot. We're gonna go explore. At some point I might trade it out for my DSLRs just so I can take some pics. But I'm excited to get to know Dubrovnik a bit more, actually learn about it, because to be honest, all I know is, I know a few things, but not too much. Not too much on me now.
And HBO needed to pay them all off. And they paid them like these were the best days of their whole year. So
I decided to go to Rector's Palace mainly because my tour guide really recommended it. I also knew that I would get in for free because I entered the city walls by purchasing a Dubrovnik pass. It covers most of the city's top attractions, including the walls, so that's the best way to get your money's worth. For dinner, I treated myself to 𝗧𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗠𝗣𝗦, a restaurant right by the harbor and is very well known. I've just made it to my dinner restaurant for today, 𝗧𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗠𝗣𝗦, which is definitely popular. Lots of good reviews. I've been hearing tons of good things about it, and to get the black risotto. I've never had risotto before, so I am a little nervous. I've also never had cuttlefish, which is what they put in risotto. Nervous times 2. But I feel like it'll be nice. It's just really pretty. I'm glad that I made this reservation. So I did make this reservation in advance so that I could get this nice pretty view. Got a nice glass of rosé, and I am just gonna enjoy my evening. I'll let y'all see my food once it comes. Okay, my food just got here and it looks really good. The waiter told me that it's the black risotto, it's got some rice chips, sage chips, the cheese, and then the cuttlefish. Delish. I've got this, the food and the view. I'm letting y'all see my first reaction to this. I'm gonna get a little bit of the cheese in, and then I assume this is a piece of cuttlefish. It's pretty good actually. It's hard to describe the texture. Oh, this is gonna stain my teeth. Kind of like a thick rice, and then the little bits of cuttlefish aren't like too chewy. It's a good texture, good consistency. I'm a fan. It tastes familiar, but I can't say what it's reminding me of. Then I ended my night at the Vino Wine Bar, which is known for offering small tastings of Croatian wines from different regions. If you're a wine lover, definitely stop there. It's cozy, local, and a nice solo-friendly spot to unwind. He told me information like this wine created about 45 minutes away by car and then like an hour away by boat. So it's Croatian local wine. Something about skin. And then this red wine is only about 16,000. Smells very sweet. Oh, that's good. Kind of takes me back to Portugal a little. The white and the rosé is extremely smooth. The white, she said it has like a buttery taste, and I can definitely see the difference between that and the rosé. I feel like this is me to a T. Especially like I saw the video. I'm officially in for the night. To say it was a good day is an understatement. I feel like I had a great first full day. I went out for dinner, which was such a vibe. I'm glad I went. It just felt good being here and relaxing that I almost didn't go to my dinner reservation. But I'm so glad I did, especially due to the fact that they had me right on the edge, like right in front of the water. In October, Dubrovnik is definitely not as busy as it is in the summer, so you don't necessarily need to make lunch or dinner reservations. However, if you want prime seating and like the best seats with the view or whatever, I would recommend making reservations. Like I made a reservation for here and then another restaurant that I'm going to in Split. I'm gonna prep my things for tomorrow because tomorrow I take a day trip to Montenegro, which is gonna be so cool, going to yet another country. And I have to wake up very early because we have to be at the meeting point by 6:20 in the morning. So that's why I made sure to finish everything today pretty early. I am loving it here in Dubrovnik. It's definitely solo travel friendly. It's definitely female solo travel friendly. I can't recommend it enough. Thanks for spending the day with me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. The next day, I joined a day trip to Montenegro, so make sure you check out that vlog because there's so much to show from that day. I met this girl on my day trip to Montenegro, and she told me about this sunset spot she's been going to for the past 2 nights and how beautiful it is and how low-key it is. So I met up with her and some of her friends from one of her hostels in Split. Let me show you the views. It's definitely low-key. It seemed like most of the people there were locals or had been coming because they were told by locals. Such a nice vibe. I had such a great day. Good morning. Yesterday was such a great day. I did my day trip to Montenegro. After I got back from Montenegro, I went to a nice sunset spot with a few people that I met from the tour. We got dinner and just walked around, got gelato and stuff. So it was a nice time. It was a great day. Today, I'm going to Bosnia. I'm excited to go to Mostar and see the famous bridge. And then we're also going to the Kravica waterfall. So that'll be fun as well. The next morning, I did another day trip. This time to Bosnia and Herzegovina, which will also be in that day trips from Dubrovnik vlog. Once I got back that evening, I decided on a whim. The sun is pretty much setting, so why not go back to where I was yesterday? This guy is playing the Game of Thrones theme song on the accordion. I kid you not, as soon as I walked through the walls, it instantly popped in my head. It was not intentional, but it happened my first day coming here. And now that I finally got it out of my head, it's back like it never left. So I'm just strolling around Old Town. I'm not ready to go in yet, so I'm just walking around and exploring. I am gonna get a sandwich for dinner because I've heard of this really good sandwich spot. Yesterday, I got a matcha gelato that was painfully good. And honestly, that's all I've been thinking about ever since then. So I'm probably gonna go back there. It's nice to walk around the streets in the evening. I love it here, even though the bell is ringing 10 million times. I feel like y'all can just see how happy I am here. I feel like it's evident. I truly do love it here, and being able to like go explore a different country during the day and then come back here at night and it's nowhere near as busy because the people who don't stay in Old Town typically like stay out of Old Town by night is actually amazing. It's my last night in Dubrovnik for a while because tomorrow I go to Split, but I will be back, but just for one more night. Tomorrow morning I leave for Split. I am taking the Flixbus, which I've heard sketchy things about, but the solo travelers that I met yesterday all took that bus and didn't have any issues, so keep your fingers crossed for me. The next day, I caught the bus from Dubrovnik to Split. The route shows you all of the beautiful views, and it didn't take too long. After a few days in Split, which will be in a different vlog, I made my way back to Dubrovnik to wrap up the trip. I just checked into my final stay in Dubrovnik, and the hosts are so kind. They're like an elderly couple, and they made me homemade cake and homemade sweet dessert wine. So nice. Chocolate and then apple pie cake and then a dessert wine. That's good. I don't really like chocolate, but it tastes like it has like cinnamon in it. That's a yummy chocolate cake. Wow, look at the view. After checking into my Airbnb, I decided to go to BANJE Beach, which is just a short walk from the old town. It's one of Dubrovnik's most popular beaches with clear turquoise water and a perfect view of the city walls. I've just made it to BANJE Beach and honestly it's pretty. People have been, I guess, talking it down because of how busy it gets, I assume, but it's not busy at all right now. It definitely is pure pebbles. I see there's two ways to get here. One has tons of stairs, but the way I took is before you get to the plot, you get entrance, and then you just follow the BANJE Beach restaurant signs. I spent the afternoon reading my book, listening to the waves, and just relaxing. I just left BANJE Beach. Now I'm trudging and making my way up to the meeting point because I'm doing a ziplining experience. I'm doing this along with every other tour I did this trip through Get Your Guide. So there's like 2 lines that we'll take twice, so a total of 4 times. And then after we're done ziplining, they'll give us like a bottle of local wine so we can enjoy it with the view, which is awesome. Honestly, it's cool coming to this side because I've only really been in the old town in Dubrovnik. So it's cool seeing things from up above rather than from down there all the time. I always like to end my solo trips with a bang, so I had to do this in Croatia. It was such a fun way to end my solo trip. Flying over the cliffs with the Adriatic below you is such a surreal experience. And then wrapping it up, watching the sunset with some local wine truly made it the perfect last day. I'll add the link to this specific experience in the description. Today, my ziplining tour guide told me that GIANNIS has the best lemon cake he's ever had. But I've also heard good things about GIANNIS as well. It's got a nice crunch. That is good. It's got a nice crunchy outer layer. The crust has a nice salt. Walking around the town that you've been traveling in on that last night, it makes you really be present and think about where you are. Just really soak in the vibes before you gotta go back to reality. The next morning came way too fast. I had an early wake-up call. I'm currently at the Dubrovnik airport. I just scanned my boarding pass and everything, so we're waiting to start boarding the flight. But I'm so sad. This just means that my Croatia trip is officially at an end. I have about a 2-hour flight to Istanbul, about a 2.5-hour layover there, and then a 12-hour flight from there back to Atlanta. But it's one of those instances where I leave Sunday morning and then land Sunday night. So I should make it back to Atlanta today if all things go well, which I think they should. I'll check in with y'all when I make it to the Istanbul airport. Safely made it to the Istanbul airport. A decent layover. I'm trying to not get food because I know they're gonna give us lunch and dinner on the flight, but your girl is a little hungry. They got all the American things: Arby's, Subway, Burger King, Popeyes, Sbarro. Look how nice this airport is. Definitely a lot busier as opposed to the day I got here, which was, I guess, last Saturday now that I think about it, but it was later in the day. So the flight to Atlanta is a smooth 12 hours, but with lunch and dinner on there, it shouldn't be too bad. And I know I'm gonna knock out at some point again, so it should be a decent flight. I've already got my shows and movies downloaded, so I'm good to go. I will catch y'all on the flip. After a long travel day, I finally made it back home. Technically, I'm still at the airport, but it's Atlanta airport, so I'm home. But that's a wrap to my solo Croatia trip. It was such a great time. And now I have a few more hours before I go back to life, back to reality, and back to work on Monday morning. Gotta love it, gotta love it. I will see y'all next week.